Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the player ratings for Tottenham Hotspur 4, Everton 0. A horrendous day, really, wasn't it? It was just, absolutely garbage at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium today. Let's just get into it. Jordan Pickford in goal. Made 3 good saves. And then made an absolute harlot, which changed the game massively because it was 1-0, and I'm not saying we were comfortable or anything, but it was 1-0 and they sort of stopped playing, to be honest. And it was a huge moment because it just took any chance or optimism away from us. And it was a huge blunder, wasn't it? Because, he's trying to shift it onto his left-hand side and Son's caught him. I think what it was is that Jordan Pickford's just not used to training with anybody of that kind of pace, because nobody at Everton's that fast. Maybe Dixon's got pace like that, but he's not used to anyone at Everton in training closing him down that quickly. And that's it, really. That's the top and bottom of it. And it was a dreadful mistake. I also think he should have done better for the third goal. I think he should have come and punched that ball rather than being stuck on his line. I think he should have done better for that one as well. But the damage was done on the second goal, and it's not very often I criticise Jordan Pickford, but I think today, obviously the second goal, it just there's no way you can say anything other than that. That was horrendous. And the third goal, as I said, I just think a goalkeeper should be doing better in that position. I think they should be coming out and dealing with anything in the box from a corner. So it's difficult to really give him anything other than a really low score. So this will be probably one of Jordan Pickford's lowest scores for a very, very long time. But Jordan Pickford, I would give a 3 for today, because I just thought it was that bad. Really, it was that bad. Roman Dixon coming in for his Everton debut today. Bit of a shaky start for him in terms of positional wise. But I thought in the whole, once he got into the game, I thought he'd give a good account of himself. He won 6 of his 10 ground duels, 6 tackles, 1 interception, 2 clearances. I think he gave the ball away a little bit more than you'd like. I think he gave the ball away 14 times. We give it away a little bit too much. But you'll see his heat map there. So obviously getting up the pitch as well, which is a nice thing to see. Obviously didn't get too far into the final third, because that's just not the way we play. He did try one in the first half and the ball didn't get to him. I think he gave up then. And to be honest, we were so much under the cosh in our own half for most of the time that our fullbacks just get bored of going forward. But listen. Considering that he wasn't on the bench last week, when a lot of us felt he should have been on the bench, regardless of status or experience, to not have another backup when Ashley Young's you're starting right back is, I think, for Premier League Football Club, a big negligent. When you've got players on the bench, young players who aren't going to get on the pitch, whereas there was an opportunity for him last week to get on the pitch or experience it. Considering he'd had a pre-season, considering he'd played in games, it did seem very, very strange that he wasn't on the bench last week. We'd said loads of times on the channel we thought he should have come on against Roma when Seamus went down, just give him that give him a bit of that experience. He might get that experience next week in a Premier League game, who knows? But to start his first game in the Premier League against Spurs in such tough circumstances, I thought he did well. I thought he had a good battle with their left winger. Will he learn? Yeah. Is he the finished article? No. He plays for Everton under 21s. He hasn't had a loan anywhere. And it's about him learning on the job. And I'll be honest, sink or swim, isn't it? It really is sink or swim. Will the manager put Ashley Young back in there next week? Probably, but at least he should be on the bench. At least he should give us an alternative. And we'll see what happens. But for me, you can only go at times. You can only go with what you've got. If you've got a young player there and there's an opportunity you've got to play him. When there's nobody else, could have played Mason Holgate, could have changed the formation. But the manager at least went for it and give him a go. And that's fair enough. And I thought the kid did all right. Was he amazing? No. Did he get caught a couple of times? Yes. Giving away soft corner or just giving the ball away or not just being quite in the right position. But that's for a player to learn. We've bought players who've had worse debuts than that. And have not been great. Just about to talk about Mykolenko. Mykolenko for the first few months was nowhere near the level. Nowhere near the level because it's so difficult. The pace is so much different, especially coming from the under-21s, where if anyone watches the under-21s, nobody tackles, everyone's got time to do what they want. That's not the Premier League. So I thought he did all right today. I really did. And I'll give him a 6 for today. And considering some of the scores I'm going to give out, that's not bad at all. Mykolenko on the other side. Again, I don't think he's fully fit. Again, he did all right today. Won 5 of his 6 duels. I think coming back from pre-season, coming into pre-season, when he did, I still think he's got a bit more about him. He looked a bit better this week than he did last week, and again, it is really about. It really is about fitness, I think, with him. You can just see his heat map there. Again, not most of it around our own box, having to deal with their forward players. Their forward players were different level to what we've got. But as I said, won 5 of his 6 ground duels. And it's tough. It's tough when you're under the cosh for so long in a game. It really is. It's so difficult. Everton didn't break forward and keep the ball for long enough. And when you're a fullback, it's so difficult. Same with Dixon. It's so difficult when you don't know whether to go or stay because you're giving the ball away so cheaply. The players in the final third giving it away so cheaply that you don't know when to go. So he can't get forward. He was dribbled past once, only lost possession 4 times during the game. And I think he's improving. He's improving bit by bit. And it'll be, hopefully he's, a bit closer, say on Saturday to what we know. So I would give him 6.5. James Tarkowski obviously was a late shout whether he was going to be available to play today. Again, I still don't think he's near it. Won 5 out of 6 aerial duels, won 1 out of 2 ground duels. I still don't think he's quite the same player playing next to Michael Keane. I don't think he looks quite himself, as I said. Injury-wise, I don't think he looks himself. He is just not quite there. He had an interrupted pre-season as well. He had an injury, never come back into it till, was it Preston that he got back, or so again, it's that fitness, and you don't really expect Tarky to be missing too many games, and I think he's again. It would have been shocking if he'd been missing today. It was only because it was a hamstring that you maybe thought he was going to miss the game, because hamstrings really shouldn't be messed around with, because if they go properly. So he's still not really quite where he needs to be. And I don't really see, I don't know, just don't see the aggression in him. Like, he sort of knows he's not quite there, so he's not really like sort of got that aggression. You can see he's not the things he sort of relies on as a player. I just don't think he's got that at the moment. So hopefully, it'd be nice if he had a clear week of where he can get back to, training all week and be back for properly, or be closer to where he needs to be for Saturday, which is a massive game. So I would give him a. It's difficult this, because it's like we conceded 4 goals, but apart from the the corner, suppose him and Michael Keane weren't dreadful. I give him a 6. Michael Keane, again, not dreadful, not like terrible, not like making calamitous mistakes. Won 3 out of 5 aerial duels, won 2 out of 3 ground duels. There's no none of the back 4 were like calamitous. They just not at it. It's more like a team thing. It's more about the amount of times we give the ball away in the final third or in the middle of the park, and then we just get caught by the pace of a much better team. So it's not like Michael Keane was terrible today. Well, it really wasn't. So it's hard to say, oh yeah, they were absolutely woeful. I don't think that defence were woeful today. It's like last week, we're getting caught in transitions. We're getting caught by faster teams, better teams. It's a hard one. It's a hard one to sort of pin down. We're used to defending in a certain way, and we just haven't been able to do that in the 2 games because how fast the opposition are and how fast they are at breaking, and the levels of ability that they've got that we just don't have, and because we give it away so cheaply as well. So Michael Keane, I would give a 5.7. Into midfield, Idrissa, not quite as good as last week. Nowhere near as good as last week, let's be honest. Different level. Playing, chasing the ball more than anything. Only had 21 touches, 75% pass accuracy. Only won 3 out of 11 ground duels. So it really was a completely different game for him today than what it was last week. He didn't find much success in this game, and you can see his heat map there. There's not a lot of like intense red, and he's not all over the pitch either. He's only just inside their half and just inside our half. I think today was a bit of a lesson, a bit of a Premier League lesson to him, to what last week. He'd had a good game, and there was a lot of plaudits for him. Again, today was sort of like, yeah, this lad is just getting used to the Premier League. This lad is new to everything. This week he's played against better players under the cosh, against the team away from home that were going to keep the ball, that were going to keep coming at us again and again and again. And I think he found it really difficult today. Only 1 clearance, only 1 tackle, no interceptions. It was a lot more difficult for him today than it was last week. They're the realities of this team. Just giving the ball away again and again and again, and being dominated by a team like Spurs. So a really tough day for Tim today. Hopefully he learns from it. Well, if he doesn't learn from it, he's going to have to get used to it a few more times, because we're going to have more, against top sides, we're going to have more days because of the quality. So Idrissa, I would give a 5 for today. Idrissa Gueye next to him, a lot more busy, a lot more experience, obviously, of dealing with these kind of things. 42 touches, 85% pass accuracy, played 89 minutes and then went off for Harrison Armstrong. Nice to see him making his Premier League debut as well. And as his heat map is, there's a lot more. He's a lot more around the pitch than Tim Iroegbunam was today. A lot more putting out fires. 110 of his 14 ground duels, so a lot busier, a lot more active in the game today. Clearances 1, tackles 8, interceptions 8. So he didn't, Idrissa Gueye didn't let the game pass him by at all today, and was more on the front foot than. And again, that's what Tim's going to have to get to. That's the level he's going to have to get to, which is putting out fires. And I think the game just passed Tim by a little bit today, where Idrissa Gueye was a lot, he's used to it. Let's be honest, he's used to it. He knows all about this. He knows what it's like to play for Everton in these kind of games. So Idrissa Gueye, I would give a 6.7 for today's game. I think, in fact, with the Idrissa Gueye's numbers from today, if you played in a game where you'd won, you'd have a much higher score. But because his numbers aren't that bad at all, it's just that he's putting out fires, and there was too many fires for him to put out. So, Abdoulaye Doucoure. I'll just show you this heat map there. Now that's just so weird. This heat map. This heat map is basically a little bit in their box, a little bit outside their box, a little bit inside our box, a little bit just outside our box, and the reddest spot is literally the centre spot. And I think that's because he kicked off. I'm thinking that's because he probably kicked the ball off more times, which is. That's probably right, is that? I don't know that for a fact, but that probably is because he kicked the ball off more times, which is really, really sad. That's it. Just looking at that, oh my god, that is bad. That is bad if that's real. Someone in the comments needs to tell me how many times he kicked it off today. Surely he didn't do the kick-off 5 times. No, he couldn't have done, because he wasn't on the pitch, was he, for 2 of the goals? So 3, maybe. That's bad. If his hottest spot is because he done the kick-off, that's bad. That's really, really bad. 12 touches. I thought he was woeful today, like really, really bad. Ground duels 1, aerial duels 1, didn't win either of them. Dribble attempts 1, unsuccessful. Shots blocked 1, shots on target none, shots off target none. I thought he was terrible, like properly terrible today. Like these are the games where it's like, what's the point of having him on? I say that. But there has been lots of away games where he just pops up with a goal, and he's the hero. But it just seems to be diminishing returns. He scored 1 goal, I think, since last December, and it just seems to be diminishing returns. And I think for a lot of our fans now, I think a lot of our fans want somebody else playing in that role, whether it's Lindstrom, whether it's Gueye, whether it's McNeil. People just want us to play someone in there now. And we'll have to see what the manager does. Doucoure's position in this team is one of the starting players. Is definitely one of the weakest now. It's got to be. If we're looking for changes, that has to change, because in the 2 games so far, I can't remember Doucoure doing anything in the 2 games. Really, I can't really remember him doing anything. I thought he was really poor today. Just an absolute passenger. And Everton need someone in midfield who can grab hold of the game. That's what they absolutely need. and can make things happen. And I don't know whether that's Lindstrom. I don't know if that's Ndiaye. But Everton have to change this cycle because it's woeful, to be fair. It's absolutely woeful. Doucoure, like, honestly, 2. He was terrible. He was absolutely terrible today. He just wasn't in the game at all. It was so poor from him today. It's a game just passed them by, and it's just every game just seems to be the same, you know. Jack Harrison, again, just show you this heat map there. One day I'll get this heat map right the first time. Again, there's nothing on it. It's like fluffy clouds when it's supposed to be like torrential rain. I thought he was poor. Today. Again, just a passenger. Just gets it, and he had 14 touches. 14 touches. He had one really good opportunity, and he completely fluffed his lines. Back post, brilliant opportunity, just smash it, hit the target. No, I thought he was really poor today. I said last week, for Everton to be a even decent, half decent team, Jack Harrison and McNeil would be squad players. They'd be coming off the bench. And again, he proved that he's got no pace. He hasn't got a trick. Like, quite literally, he hasn't got a trick apart from cutting inside. And he just gets dealt with so easy by most fullbacks. They're not tricked by when he cuts inside. It's so easy to deal with. He's in the team for work rate, and that's it. That's all he's in the team for. And I just don't think it'll be enough this season. He only lasted 57 minutes today, which is unusual. And that maybe shows that the manager will lean into those 2 other players as we go forward. But he's just not good enough. He's nowhere near good enough to play. You know, he doesn't create enough and he doesn't score enough. And I just think he's a squad player. He sits on your bench. I mean, he might be better on the other side, by the way. You know, playing on the left. You know, because that's basically his position. Don't get me wrong, the lad works. He works hard. But like it says on the wall at Goodison, you know, that's working hard is the least we expect. It's really not something to applaud players for, working hard. That's literally their job, to work hard, to put it in every single game. That's the absolute minimum. And I just thought Harrison was really poor today. I mean, 14 touches. That's bad. And I know that's about getting the ball to him, but again, that shows how bad we are as a team. Really are bad. So Harrison, I would give a 3. Yeah, I just thought he was really poor. Dwight McNeil on the other side. I mean, he's the busiest, isn't he? He's the busiest. He had 55 touches, 78% pass accuracy. His heat map, as you can see, is a lot more intense. A lot more red spots on it. And he's to be fair, he was all over today, and because he came inside, didn't he? But you know, dribble attempts 4 out of 4. Fair play. You know, he is picking up the ball and he is moving it forward. Does the manager see him playing in a more centralised role? Is that better for him? I think playing off the left-hand side isn't getting us really the place we need to be. You know, we've got options. We're going to have to start looking at them, because he doesn't put crosses in, and that's the thing. He doesn't put crosses in. Grounds rules won 7 out of 10 again. Yeah, no argument with his work rate whatsoever. 10 crosses, 6 accurate. Most of them are corners though. Most of them are set pieces. And his set pieces are really good. There's no argument about that whatsoever. His set pieces, but I wonder whether I just don't see him as a player who plays wide. I just don't think he's quick enough. I just don't. Look at every team. Look at the 2 teams we've played so far. Pace out wide, pace to burn out wide, beat the fullback or cut inside the fullback, leave them for dead. We haven't got that. We haven't got that at all, and that's one of our major problems. We have not got pace in wide areas. So maybe Dwight McNeil could play more as a number 10, and we could get more out of him. But he isn't quick enough for me to play wide. I don't think he just doesn't do enough out wide. But with the limitations of the squad, I suppose you've got to find some way for him because of the set pieces. And the set pieces look like the only way we're going to score goals at the moment. So, yeah. I did like it though when he picked the ball up and we were going forward and he ended up being left back. I just thought that said everything about our team. That he dribbled backwards. He actually beat 2 players and went to our left back, I found that really incredible, to be fair. So Dwight McNeil, I would give a 6.9 for today's performance. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, 72 minutes. Will this be his last game in an Everton shirt? Maybe. Again, heat map. Look at the spots in the box. It's all out. That red area there. This bit here. This red area here. That's basically, I would imagine, where every long ball went to. I'd say every single diagonal ball will have gone to that position right there, and that's his hottest spot. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has played 2 games in the Premier League this season and has not had a shot on target. That is a damning stat for him, and it's a damning stat for the team that we do not get our centre forward into areas, and our centre forward does not get the ball to shoot. In fact, I don't even know if he had a shot off target last week. Can't remember. But that would be absolutely damning that our centre forward is not. He certainly didn't have a shot on target last week. 23 touches. He won 5 of his 7 aerial duels. That's great. But who gets the ball? He is just. You might as well just go and get a League 2 centre forward. Honestly, you might as well sell Dom and go and get a League 2 centre forward and go stay up there, lad, and do exactly what this lad's just done. Because honestly, the effect will be the same in the way we play, which is long diagonal balls to the centre forward who knocks them down. It wouldn't make a difference. It really wouldn't make a difference because of the style we play. We don't put crosses in. It's the way we play is a major problem because we all know that set pieces are what we score from. And if we're not scoring from set pieces, it's very difficult to see us scoring any other way. And that's what I said. The front 4 has to change. That front 4 has got to change. The makeup. Now, as I said, that might be forced on us this week. A bid might come in for Dominic Calvert-Lewin and he might go. Would that solve all our problems? No. Unless we brought someone in. Manager doesn't like Beto. Didn't bring him on today till we were 3-0 down. I mean, why not just go for it? You're 2-0 down. Why not just make a triple sub? Why not take Harrison, Doucoure, and don't know, McNeil or Tim Irabunum, and say we're going to play McNeil as a centre midfielder and go 2 up front with Beto and Dom and change it. Be something different, wouldn't it, at least? But I know, listen, I don't know whether Dom's working hard enough. I just see the way we play and think, how do we get more out of a centre forward? Does he have to be making more runs down the channels? Is it worth it? But should he be doing it? It would need need to sit down and properly analyse his game. But the way we play is just long ball. Just long ball, long ball, long ball. And when we break, we just give it away generally. We just give it away. How many times in the first 2 games have we provided a pass for like the goal that Dom scored against Roma? Hasn't happened. It just has not happened. But Dom was nowhere near the level today. Nowhere near the level. So I'd give Dominic Calvert-Lewin a 4.5 for today's performance. Subs. Iliman Gueye came on, played 33 minutes, 27 touches. 27 touches of the ball. Considering some of our other players that were on the pitch for longer, that's not bad at all. Predominantly off the left-hand side, as you can see there. Big red spot on the left-hand side, but he was picking up a lot of the balls. No shots on target, no shots off target. That's a running theme for this team, isn't it? It really is. Dribble attempts, though 3 out of 6. Trying to do something different. Trying to do something that other players aren't doing. And that's what we're talking about with a different makeup of this team. Giving teams we're playing against something they don't expect. And he is an X-factor player. And also works hard. 6 out of 12, ground duels, 1. That's not a bad winning half when you've had 12. So he's give the manager something to think about, I think, coming on. And hopefully improves by every single game and gets stronger and gets more used to it. Don't forget, this is a player who never played in the Premier League before we signed him. So and Dyer would give a 6.4 for today. Lindstrom, a little bit less. Again, on the other side, again, similar position to where Dyer was picking up the ball just on the other side. Obviously had a chance with his first opportunity. It does show you, though, we do play down the left a lot more because of McNeil. The players like giving the ball to McNeil, and clearly they like giving the ball to anyone who's on that left-hand side. So it was in Dyer today, and don't give it to the player on the right as much, which is interesting. Lindstrom only had 12 touches, though. As I said, he did have a shot on target, though, which is more than you can say about most of our players. He did have a shot on target. Dribble attempts 2, both of them unsuccessful. Again, he's another one. He's one again. You look at and go, will he give us more than Harrison? Well, you can't say definitively right now whether he will or won't, but we'll have to wait and see in the coming weeks whether he does or not. So Lindstrom, I'll give a 5.9 for today's performance. Beto came on with played 18 minutes plus stoppage time, I think. Again, didn't do loads. No shot on target, no shot off target. Only 3 touches. Only 3 touches in 18 minutes. That's again. I'm talking about centre forward. This was a running theme all last season when people were saying play Beto or play Dom, and when you looked at it, the amount of shots each player had or the amount of touches they had was so similar. No matter who played, it was always the same. Not getting shots, not getting the ball, all long balls. The style of play is it just doesn't help a centre forward playing on his own whatsoever. At times our centre forwards are playing in different postcodes to the rest of the team. So yeah. But he's had 3. How has he been on the pitch for 18 minutes and had 3 touches? How is that possible? How is that possible? That's shocking in anyone's book. That's shocking that he only had 3 touches and he's been on the pitch for 18 minutes. We're a Premier League football team and he's had 3 touches in a period of the game where you're expecting Everton to have a little bit of a go because they're getting beat. That's woeful. That really is woeful. Absolutely, that's just embarrassing. Better with 5. Harrison Armstrong came on. He only came on for a minute. I'm not going to give him a score, but he did win 1 ground duels out of 2, so 50% win rate in his ground duels. So great to see him get on the pitch. A young player who obviously again in pre-season looked like he's got a future, but we'll wait and see. The manager has given a debut to a right back and has brought a young lad and sent to midfield for his debut. So that's nice, because you know what, last season when we had times when we had no players, he didn't really give anyone a go apart from Dobbin. So could is the manager changing? Is the manager thinking, you know what, I need more than this, and I've got to bed some in. I've got to give young lads some experience early. And you know what? That's the best way. We all know how much a season can change. We all know how things can change during a season. So if you can give young players an opportunity to get minutes and start bedding them in and give them that Premier League experience, as the manager asks so much or speaks so much about not having Premier League experience, give them the Premier League experience then in the early part of the season. Like we did with, Dobbin last season become a player that you could bring off the bench, and he had his moments. So let's see what happens. But today was crap. We move on to next week now, and leave it behind, leave it in the past. Hopefully learn some lessons, and we'll see what happens. The manager spoke there after the game, and he said it was our own fault giving the ball away in stupid areas and stuff. So, and he's absolutely right. But you know what? This style of play is rubbish. And when you don't win playing the way we do, it's so much harder. And that's why when he talks about hero or zero, it's because when we play badly and, in this style, it is dreadful. It is absolutely dreadful. So there you have it. Right, we'll be back. Make sure you check out Baz's videos. We'll be back we're going to do the final word on Monday. It'll be live over on Toffee TV Premier. So if you want to check that out, please do. It'll be there live. There you go. Thanks for watching. See you later.